Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Andrew Yang. Trump's analysis on buying Greenland, and we're specifically going to look at Andrew Yang in context to Trump's analysis of buying Greenland from the context of unpredictability and nonviolent expansion. All right, let's get into it. All right, so basically, oh my gosh, Trump, holy cows. This guy is like a whirling dervish. Like, it's incredible the amount of things that you need to process that come from Donald Trump, okay? Now, all right, so let's talk this through. Donald Trump, just in case for the few people who don't know about this, I'll just explain it quickly. Last week, it became a news story that Donald Trump's White House staff were told by Donald Trump, I want you to do an analysis on buying Greenland from Denmark. Tell me what the offer should be. How do we go about this? How does the United States of America buy Greenland from Denmark? What? Like what? All right, so this came out of left field. And of course, the media would just ran themselves full into a wall like they do all the time, and they took it as a joke, right? Like, this is Donald Trump's superpower. Is no matter how many times he punches his opponent in the face, they keep thinking he's weak. It's so incredible, right? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is brilliant. Donald Trump's analysis to buy Greenland from Denmark is sheer brilliant genius. This is radiant light shafts of pure genius just shining off of this unforgettable president, right? So here's the thing, right? If you read Sun Tzu, you realize that the greatest generals learn from their opponent, right? And Trump is a terrible president. The cost for every victory he's gained has been too high. He has done an incredible amount of damage, specifically to the role of U.S. presidency. But if anybody thinks this guy isn't a genius, boy, you are not tracking, right? This analysis to buy Greenland from Denmark is absolutely brilliant, right? And it shows the two things that Andrew Yang must take away from Trump, right? There are going to be, so get this, right? You cannot sleep on Trump. This dude, he is dangerous like a cobra, right? I cannot believe the people who do not understand how dangerous he is, because he is incredibly competent, right? And he's incredibly smart. The idea of buying Greenland from Denmark is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, right? And I know this is going to sound a little off. This may be one of the most important things that Trump did. It's huge. It's huge. Let's unpack it, okay? All right. So here's the thing. What does Trump saying America wants to buy USA, United States of America, I'm going to say America for that going forward. When I say America, I mean the United States of America, okay, for the rest of this video. When America says we want to buy Greenland from Denmark, one, it's a straight baller move, right? And get this, Donald Trump did not go to Denmark and say we want to buy it. He just told his staffers, right, hey, do the analysis on this. And guess what? The media did his work. Just like the media does Donald Trump's work every day. It's amazing how much they play into his hands, right? So what does this accomplish when Trump says, I want analysis from my staff on how we buy Greenland from Denmark? Well, one, the first thing it does is it shows that completely balled out spirit of America and American money, right? It's like, yeah, we can do this. We can think about buying a country, an autonomous country, from a kingdom. That's what Denmark is, a kingdom. So guess what? Denmark is a kingdom, and they have this little autonomous country called Greenland, right? So Greenland is literally just like it's literally a crown jewel, right? So it's just a bauble that they own, like that the king of Denmark owns. Like, I'm like, really? It astounds me how many monarchies we still have bouncing around this world, right? So basically, it's completely safe. The enemy is literally the king of Denmark, right? You can definitely go hard against the king of Denmark, right? Like it's incredible, right? Like, this is incredible what Trump has done, right? Oh, by the way, I got to back up for 1 second. Andrew Yang already talked about this, right? He got it wrong. He tweeted about this immediately, right? He was like, Andrew Yang was like, we don't need to be worrying about Denmark. We need to worry about Puerto Rico. I love Andrew Yang, brilliant dude, double Ivy League, genius. He's going to be our next president. I'm all in for him. He got this 100% wrong. He needs to reassess, back it up, and understand the value on predictability and understand the value of nonviolent expansion, right? And so now, I'm going to explain why Andrew Yang definitely needs to reconsider what Trump has done with the analysis to buy Greenland from Denmark, right? So one, Andrew Yang knows this, right? You must choose your enemies incredibly carefully, right? Andrew Yang chose the perfect enemy for this election. Robots. Everybody hates them. Nobody wants them to take their jobs. Robots suck, right? And guess what? You can go hard against robots because they're things, right? And Andrew Yang can just go full on and say automation's terrible. This is a horrible enemy, right? Guess what? The king of Denmark is like really good guy to go against, right? Like a dude in Europe who owns a gigantic island, right? Like, and you're like, I would like to buy this, right? And that is setting the king of Denmark in opposition to you, and it absolutely did. Donald Trump has a new enemy this week, King of Denmark. It's the best enemy ever picked. Like, it's slightly less good than robots, right? Like, but the reality is Donald Trump is doing an Andrew Yang thing here, right? He's choosing the right enemy, right? All right. So why is Greenland so important, right? So one of the things is I have an information diet, right? I'm very careful about, I don't listen to too much entertainment. I make sure I'm reading enough on politics, that I'm listening to enough on podcasts about politics, that I'm listening to enough YouTube on politics, right? You got to balance it out, right? One of the best sources on money right now is Slate Money. It's a podcast. Everybody on it is absolutely brilliant. They're all dyed-in-the-wool liberals, right? And they recently talked about Trump. And they said the most powerful thing about Trump is his unpredictability, right? You cannot underestimate the power of unpredictability. They explained it, right? One of the things that happened recently is the Fed doesn't really know what to do as far as setting rates. The markets don't really know what to do right now as far like under and over and algorithms and all these kind of things. Everybody is having a very, very hard time making predictions, making models, making algorithms, right? They're having, all the basic models are built on a predictable politician. And that is what we've had in virtually every single case up until Trump. We had predictable politicians. We have reached a point where predictable politicians must meet a terminus. The world no longer needs them. They are worthless. They are worse than worthless, right? And this is what Trump has brought, right? All the models get shoved out the door. It disrupts old boy networks, right? Algorithms get upset, right? And this is all good, right? When nobody knows where you're going to go next, you have the ability to be listened to. You have the ability to be feared. You have the ability to be respected, right? And this Greenland thing absolutely needs to be a clanging gong for Andrew Yang to hear. He needs to listen and go, I hear you, Donald Trump. I understand that you are a rank terrible president, but your unpredictability cannot be ignored. And it is the superpower that I will need to pick up from you, right? Every president for the next century is going to have to study Trump carefully, right? And Yang is no exception. Donald Trump has absolutely changed politics for the next century at least. It is quite possible he has changed politics in America forever, right? So with that said, you have to take a large amount of what Trump is and jettison it, right? I don't need to tell you guys which part you need to jettison. Just go on CNN, they'll tell you every single day. Go on Twitter, they'll tell you every single day. Go on NBC, they'll tell you every single day the terrible aspects of Donald Trump that need to be jettisoned, right? But there is some real gold in that man, and his unpredictability cannot be ignored, right? Andrew Yang absolutely needs to retain unpredictability as an attribute in his presidency. It is incredibly valuable, right? All right, now, everybody thought this was a joke, right? Like that Greenland, that Trump doing an analysis to buy Greenland from Denmark was a joke. It is not, okay? This is about non-violent expansion, and it is not a small thing. America is absolutely to the core, to the bone marrow. We are an expansionist nation. We have, as a nation, understood that our expansion in the past came at the cost of human lives. That can no longer occur. We all understand that as Americans. However, to our red, white, and blue blood cells, we are expansionists. We need to expand. Where do we go next, right? We need to expand into the oceans. We need to expand into Leo, low Earth orbit. We need to expand into the moon and into Mars, right? America does best when it is expanding. We can no longer take lives when we expand. We must do nonviolent expansionism, right? This is a must. This is the future of America. Nonviolent expansionism is the future of America. We are capitalists. We drive the engine of our democracy through capitalist profit. Capitalist profit is driven through expansion. We now shift into non-violent expansion. And so there have been a few geniuses on the political board who are like, yes, we should go to Mars. Yes, we should go to the moon. Yes, we should go into Leo. Yes, we should go to the deep oceans, right? And no human lives will be lost. This is all nonviolent expansion. Well, Trump just upped the game. He's like, let's get some land, and all it's going to cost is dollars, right? And frankly, I think it's brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to be one of the first to say it. I think it might work. I think we might get Greenland, right? And the reason why is Denmark is a kingdom. They are a monarchy. Oh my gosh, they are still a monarchy. So taking a bauble from a monarchy, yeah, we can talk about buying it. That's totally fine, right? That's not harming anyone, and it is a perfect target for non-violent expansion for America. Andrew Yang absolutely needs to back it up and look at this whole Greenland thing again. It is brilliant. It shows the power of unpredictability, and it absolutely underlines 3 times with a red marker the importance of nonviolent expansion for America. All that's my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. Let me know how much you think we should pay for Greenland in the comments. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.